When you think of an artist from the 1950s who had the first rock and roll group and wrote their own songs, you probably think of Buddy Holly. What's going on, guys? I'm Tom Radigan, like always, and today I decided to list the top 10 Buddy Holly songs that I think are probably the most essential. Now, the way I'm going to be doing this is a little bit different than a usual top 10 list somebody might make about, their favorite songs, maybe. I'm not doing it like my favorite Buddy Holly songs because I feel with Buddy Holly, he's one of those artists that has, so many good songs. It's almost like picking a favorite child, almost like the Beatles or Elvis. So the way I decided to break down this top 10 list is a little bit different, but sort of similar to somebody like the YouTube channel Watch Mojo. So I'm basing it on, commercial, success, also, of course, fan favorites, and of course my favorites too. So that's the way it kind of is. And listen, every time my list of Buddy Holly songs can change, but for a while it's been like this. I feel like these are the songs that are good 10 songs to really kind of understand who Buddy Holly is. That's the best way to put it. Also too, I feel bad that I didn't have any really Buddy Holly merch or posters or albums really to go along with the scenery. So the closest I can go with is wearing my glasses to represent Buddy Holly, but wearing a button-down shirt that kind of also, was Buddy Holly kind of wore those in the 50s, and kind of got my hair a little curly, sort of like Buddy. And so he's always been one of my favorite artists, and I feel like today I really wanted to do a video dedicated to him, considering too it's almost been it's been 63 years since he's been dead, and also not just that, but the anniversary of his birthday just came up, so it would have been his 86th birthday. So it's crazy to me. He died when he was 22, but he would have been 86 this year. It's crazy, and I think I want to just give a video dedicated to the great songs of Buddy Holly. So without further ado, let's get through this list. Okay, so coming at number 10, we got It Doesn't Matter Anymore, written by Paul Anka and a part of the recording sessions that occurred on October 21st of 1958. Recorded in New York City with Dick Jacobs as producer.
Remember, the session was scheduled for 8 o'clock at Pythian Temple. And at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I look at my door, and in rushes Buddy Holly, and he's carrying his guitar, and he says to me, Dick, he says, I hate to do this to you. He says, but Paul Anka just wrote a new song, and he gave it to me as an exclusive, and he says, we have to do it on the session tonight. I says, Buddy, we got 3 hours before the session, we got to write it already. He says, we got to do it. I says, okay, you want to do the song? We're going to do the song. And he didn't even have a lead sheet with him at the time. And he took his guitar out, and I got my score paper out. I called my copyist to come to the office right away, which he did. And Buddy sang me the melody and the lyrics of It Doesn't Matter Anymore.
It happened to be his last major recording session in a studio. It was released on January 5th of 1959, which would be the last single released before his death. The orchestration on this track makes a beautiful melody, and Holly uses his famous hiccup style with such positivity in his voice. Coming at number 9, we got Oh Yeah, Dearest. This has been known to be one of the last songs Buddy Holly recorded, which was a month before his tragic plane crash on February 3rd, 1959. It was recorded in his New York City apartment on the Ampex tape recorder, along with other tracks which have been known to the public as the apartment tapes. It was released as a single years later in December of 1963, and then on a compilation album titled Showcase in 1964. It was originally co-written by Ellis McDaniel, or also known as Bo Diddley, and first done by Mickey and Sylvia. You could call it a blue-eyed soul ballad, Originally, it was just Buddy Holly on guitar, but over the years after his death, it was overdubbed with a band of session musicians by former manager and producer Norman Petty. The Black Keys covered it back in 2011 for the Holly compilation album Grave on Buddy Holly. It also has been used in current pop culture, with it being used in the 2007 comedy film Juno. Even though it might have not been a hit, it will go down in history as one of the last Buddy Holly songs ever recorded. So it'll always be cherished by Buddy Holly fans. Okay, so coming at number 8, we got Not Fade Away, credited to Charles Hardin, which was part of Holly's original birth name, and also had a co-writing credit to his manager and producer Norman Petty, which has been considered more due to formality, and like most songs on this list that are credited to Petty as a co-writer are mainly due to him being producer and a way for him to get a royalty as a songwriter, even though he never really contributed to any of the songs. This song has been considered a variant of the Bo Diddley beat, which was started by musician, and this is going to be such a big shock, Bo Diddley. The Diddley beat was influenced from West Africa and has a lot of influence on this record itself. The now late great drummer Jerry Allison used a card box as percussion, and it has been documented that Allison and rhythm guitarist Nikki Sullivan did backing vocals along with Holly. It was recorded May 27th, which happened to be the release date of another big single that might come up later. It was used as a B-side for another song that again might come up again later. Even though Not Fade Away didn't make it to the charts for Holly, it did, however, become a hit years later for the Rolling Stones and has been covered numerous times after that from other artists ranging from The Grateful Dead to Stephen Stills to James Taylor. It was ranked at number 108 on the 2004 issue of Rolling Stone magazine's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time. This song will always hold a special place in Holly's beloved catalog of music. At number 7, we got the beautiful True Love Ways, a romantic ballad written by Holly, and also a co-writing credit is given once again to Norman Petty. It was recorded in the same session as the number 10 spot on this list. It was released as a single in 1960, which was after Holly's death, and the B-side of the record that had the theme of the opposite feeling of love, which is That Makes It Tough. True Love Ways, though, proved that Holly didn't have to play a fast guitar riff to get the public to listen to him. It has been claimed to be about his wife, Maria Elena Holly. What I found interesting was learning recently that Holly's melody to this song was inspired by the black gospel hymn, I'll Be Alright. This song also showed that violins can go with rock and roll. Unlike the use of it in the biopic, The Buddy Holly Story, it doesn't seem that Holly ever played it live due to the fact that he wanted to play up-tempo songs and not play any ballads. It was another song that was covered and had more chart success with the English duo Peter and Gordon, which made it in the top 10 charts in Canada, Ireland, the Netherlands, Norway, UK singles, and the US Billboard Hot 100. However, the original Holly version did make it to the 25th position on the UK single charts official chart company. Coming at number 6, we got Maybe Baby. The third song on this list in a row is credited to Holly and Norman Petty again. Even though he didn't really probably contribute, but he was greedy for money. However, the title of this song came from Buddy Holly's mother due to her wanting to help out with his songs. It first appeared on Holly's debut album, The Chirping Crickets. When Holly and the Crickets toured in England, he performed this song on a BBC program called Off the Record. It became a song that Holly regularly played in performances. The song was a Billboard hit in both the US and UK. It reached number 17 on the US Hot 100, 8 on the US R&B charts, and number 4 in the UK. Coming at number 5, we got Oh Boy, written by Sonny West, Bill Tillman, and Norman Petty. Again, I'm not going to even keep addressing the whole thing about how he didn't really probably contribute to the song. We'll just give Norman Petty the benefit of the doubt that maybe he did contribute and not just greedily took songwriting royalties. All right, let's get on with this. When you think of the 2-minute popular rock songs of the 50s, this one probably comes to mind, especially with the fast-paced guitar intro, with the first lyrics out of Holly's mouth. All my love, all my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing. Oh boy, oh boy. All right. Okay. But the instrumentation of this band, oh my god, and it features the main lineup of the Crickets, which is Buddy Holly on lead vocals and lead guitar, Nikki Sullivan on rhythm guitar, Joe B. Malden on bass, Jerry Allison on drums, and for backing vocals, it was from a trio called The Picks. It made it to number 10 on the US Hot 100, number 15 on the US R&B charts, and number 3 in the UK. Oh boy is a rocker. Yes, I should really stop with these types of, real enthusiasm, trying to sound like a radio DJ, and just stick to my normal voice. All right, I had to project a little for this rocking number, which was oh boy. Okay, I'll stop. All right, I think okay. Let's just move on. Let's move on for the sake of you viewers. Please, let's just move on. Number 4, we got Rave On. Another song penned by Sonny West, Bill Tillman, and Norman Petty. It is another fast-tempo number that has a length that's less than 2 minutes. It was first recorded and released by West himself on Atlantic Records, but it didn't become a hit until Holly did a version of it with his hiccup vocal style and raving guitar, no pun intended, and it was recorded for the universe to hear. And did they hear it all right? It definitely is a different change in a Holly melody, and also a different change of pace, with this time not having a guitar solo and instead replacing it with a piano. It only charted though at number 37 on the US Hot 100, but however did make it to number 5 in the UK. It definitely is a song you can get up and dance to and just have a good time, and that's what rock and roll is all about. So coming at number 3, we got It's So Easy. This was the last single Buddy Holly recorded and released with the Crickets before Holly moved to New York to embark on a solo career. They lip-synced it on Dick Clark's American Bandstand. Unfortunately though, the footage is nowhere to be found. However, for a side note, you can find an audio version of him getting interviewed by Dick Clark.
I got tangled up in my introduction to you because I know of some of the things you've done, but I don't know all of your activities. How many songs have you written?
I couldn't hardly say right now, Dick. It'd take me a few minutes to think back and think of how many there were, but I guess altogether it's been about 15 or 20.
This song explains how easy it is to fall in love and the joy of it. That is what the goal of rock and roll was during that time, was to write 2-minute songs that were catchy and can relate to the emotions that people had at that time, especially, targeted towards young people. What works for me in this song is the hook of Holly repeating the phrase, "It seems so easy, oh, so doggone easy." It's also interesting to point out that the shrieking guitar riffs on this recording is not coming from Buddy. It's coming from guitar player Tommy Allsup, who later played with Buddy on his Unexpected final tour. It's mind-boggling that the song didn't even make it to the charts. However, Holly fans do know this song is a gem, no matter what the stupid charts say. Alright, so coming at number 2, we got That'll Be the Day. If this isn't considered the record that made Holly a star, then I don't know what is. It was recorded February 25th, 1957 in Clovis, New Mexico at Norman Petty's studio. In the movie, John Wayne throughout the film would say the line, "That'll be the day." This would become the title of the song. Buddy actually recorded a version of this song in Nashville when he was with Decca Records back in 1956 and worked with producer Owen Bradley. Bradley and Decca did not have that much hope for the song, and Holly got dropped from the label. However, after Holly recorded the version that became a hit, he was signed to Brunswick Records. However, due to his contract with Decca, he was not allowed to re-record any of the material he did with them. The Brunswick Record Company was a subsidiary of Decca. In order to get around this, instead of crediting Buddy Holly in the Crickets, it was just credited as the Crickets. Once Decca found out Holly was a part of Brunswick Decca re-signed him, with this time being a part of another subsidiary, which was Coral Records. Certain lyrics really stick out to me in this song, and they roll off the tongue very easy, like the line, "When Cupid shot his dart, he shot it at your heart, so if we ever part, then I'll leave you." The personnel on this record features, of course, Allison on drums, Nikki Sullivan on backing vocals, along with June Clark, Gary Tollett, and Ramona Tollett. However, Buddy's well-known stand-up bass player, Joby Malden, wasn't officially a part of the group yet, so Larry Wellborn plays bass on this record. That'll Be the Day marked Buddy Holly's first and only #1 hit on America's US Hot 100, and also reached #1 in the UK and hit #2 on the R&B charts. This song has become a cult phenomenon. Its fame carried all the way to England, where 3 guys came together, and they were known as the Quarrymen. Gee, I wonder whatever happened to them. It just shows you that this rock anthem lives on. And now, if you were wondering what the #1 choice is, it shouldn't be a surprise at all to anybody that is a Buddy Holly fan out there. It is the song that everyone remembers, with Holly's hiccups at his finest and a rocking guitar solo from Holly himself. Yep, that's right, folks. Coming at #1, we got Peggy Sue. It was played on the Ed Sullivan Show and the Arthur Murray Dance Party. This song definitely improves Holly's songwriting skills at capturing the mood of love. Originally, the song was going to be Cindy Lou. Now, the Buddy Holly story does explain this. However, they are incorrect of who Cindy Lou was. She wasn't a girlfriend of Holly's. She was his niece. However, Jerry Allison liked a girl named Peggy Sue Guerin and asked Holly to change the name, to which he did. And you know what? It was a positive impact for Allison, because he and Peggy Sue Guerin actually got married soon after. Peggy Sue's mark on society was crucially important and made an impact, and was name dropped in songs like Bobby Darin's Splish Splash and the Region's Barbara Ann. It was released under Coral Records, just under Buddy Holly's name, even though the Crickets are on it. The song made it on the top 10 in multiple countries and hit #3 on the US Hot 100, 3 on the US R&B charts, and #6 in the UK. It definitely is considered one of the most well-known rock songs from the 1950s. Okay, so this wraps up our top 10 Buddy Holly songs. Did you agree with my list? What's your favorite Buddy Holly song? Was there a song that you felt should have been on this list and wasn't? Let me know in the comments below. And like always, see you next time. Bye.